Hey everybody, what's happening? Hey. Welcome back to the panel.
It's the panel show. It's the panel.
I know we got a theme song and everything.
We should. We should have.
But we're gonna be the ones singing it. Let's practice.
We're like harmonizing.
Okay, ready? Welcome
to the panel.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, we'll stick with the theme song.
I'm Anna Marie.
And I'm Bree.
And I'm Bethany.
Again.
And we are
the panel. That was much cuter. I like that one. I liked that.
I didn't get to do my part in the harmonizing. I just said it normal.
We all ended up on the melody line. So, you know.
Anyways, yeah, welcome back to the panel, guys. Today is a hot topic show. I am very hot topics.
Very hot. Like
this is where you
insert.
Yeah, I was like, this is where you insert like a Louisiana hot sauce bottle.
Tabasco sauce.
Shout out to Beyonce.
What else? Jalapeno peppers hot.
Ghost pepper hot.
Yes,
all
fire.
Types
of hot.
Yeah, that's hot. That's like burn your mouth hot.
No, yeah.
And some other things.
And
Buffalo Wild Wings hot as hot wings hot.
Ooh.
You know they have a challenge where they give it to you for free if you can eat.
If you can eat all of those.
Yeah. You've been there, you know that?
I've heard.
Yeah.
So if y'all want to do that, feel free to do that. Let us know. You can tweet us, Instagram us. Speaking of Twitter and Instagram, we have a giveaway that we're going to be doing. So stay tuned to the end of this video to get more details about that. But
make sure to also tune into our Instagram because that's also where we're going to have a lot of information about that.
But let's get into our topic, okay? So hot topics. We're talking about several different ones.
Yeah.
I want to start off with Hurricane Harvey because that devastation has been wreaking havoc, you know, in Texas and now in Atlanta and
it's horrible
down towards Louisiana. So
it's so sad because I feel like with all of these and obviously with FEMA, etc., there's lots of different ways where these things, where the damage can be prevented. But it's just sad that natural disasters, like, it's something that you can't, you just, it comes.
I think that's what is so hard about living here. We have so much money, we can control basically anything from happening to us except
the weather,
except Mother Nature and her crazy moods, you know. It's so sad, like, but in a way it's brought so many people together and
to help.
We haven't seen humanity in such a long time because everybody's fighting and arguing about politics and all this stuff. But it's shown. I've seen 45. so many good acts being done, you know. It's so nice to see that again.
No, I think it's great. I would challenge you all to not donate to the Red Cross. Thank you very much.
Because you need to know where your money is going and that it's specifically directly impacting lives.
These people and not going to other things.
Tell everyone about that suggestion that was made.
Yeah, well, so Carl Thomas, who, I don't know if y'all know him, but he's a music guy, he posted a video and he was on the ground in Houston. He was just saying that the best thing that we can do sometimes is to get in direct contact with a family and sponsor them and say, you know, can we give you money? Can we give you food? Can we give you clothes? Like whatever you need, we'll get you.
Absolutely.
And it's direct because, you know, we actually have a lot of suggestions of good organizations where to donate. Go follow our Twitter at the panel show. And that'll tell you more about like what are good, reputable local charities to give to. But you're subject to just the bureaucracy of all of that, and so it's kind of
and then all of this talk about overhead, right? Like what percentage of like funding and donations is actually going to?
Did you see that interview where Gayle King was asking her where does the majority of the money go? Or can you tell us where the money is going that people are donating?
And she could not directly answer the question. She would be like Gayle would be like, and how much overhead is actually, she'd be like, out of $1, how much is actually going, right, to Harvey? And she'd be like
91%.
Well, first she'd be like, and you know, it's so great to have these donations and, you know, the impact, you know, I'm like,
and
lady,
Gayle was like,
get
but
to
answer
the
my question though.
She's like, I was like, answer.
But anyways, it's just,
question.
sometimes it's easier if you know somebody on the ground, you know somebody who's in Houston, contact them, see if they can put you in contact with a family or if it's their family or whatever. Just
people have lost a lot, you know.
And it's devastating. It's devastating. It's been pretty remarkable to see the common humanity, like you were kind of saying, Brie, between like a lot of folks who are saying, okay, well, like let's really like come together and let's support Texas right now, and like even celebrities who were like donating, you know, big dollars. But whatever you can give, even if it's $1, like that goes toward that effort, that goes toward those families. So Anna, did you retweet?
Yeah, I retweeted on our Twitter again. At the panel show, there's a video there done by The Root, and it speaks about a lot of good charities.
Definitely. And we can even maybe put some links up or something.
Yeah, we might have some links in the description down below, so check that out.
Absolutely. But let's support our Texas fam.
Yes.
Okay,
we love you.
Switching gears again, we want to talk about, because we're from Utah, so this is like very relevant to us, but the nurse, and I don't know if she was at...
We made it on the Shade Room and Baller Alert. Did you guys see that?
Oh, are you kidding me? Utah did.
We made it on the Shade.
No, that's not good for a bad thing.
I mean,
it's not good.
We're out there though.
But it's like
out there though. They know we exist. Yeah. No, the Salt Lake City Police Department had a officer who is in charge of, you know, collecting blood samples and whatever. He went into a hospital. He didn't have a warrant. He didn't have a subpoena, nothing. He just was like, I need this blood sample, and the nurse was like, fam, I can't give that to you. Like, it's against my policy. And he like dragged her and arrested her.
That he has the right to go in. Like, I don't, like, sometimes I feel there's so much overreach that happens with law enforcement, and I'm like, y'all need to have checks. Y'all need to have checks and balances.
I think they used to have a law like that where the police officer could just go in and get a blood sample, but I think the hospitals have now changed it for whatever reasons. I mean, to protect the patient.
Did he have a warrant?
No.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
I think they used to be able to do that, you know? I think that's what I read, that they used to be okay.
Without a warrant.
So maybe he didn't know, and I think the police department said they're going to start retraining the officers with the new policies.
You should be doing that anyways. Like, guys, like, at what point, like, you've got to hold them responsible, because, like...
But the way it was handled, the way it was handled. Because here's my thing: if legally you can go in and do that, that's fine. But there's a way to handle that. Like, I feel like there's a way to also like respect the human and give human dignity to a person.
He grabbed her like he knew her, or like that was his wife or something.
Right.
I mean, don't grab your wife like that, but it's like...
I was like, if that's
wasn't acting in a professional manner.
Well, and then you add on top of that, there's like hospital administration who are like, she cannot give you this, and she won't. It's against hospital policy.
That's the thing about a lot of police officers. Yes, we know there's good ones. We're talking about the bad ones. They get really power hungry. They know their position. They have weapons. They have all this, the law's always on their side. So they're going to act way out of line, and that's, I think, what he was doing.
Well, it's a power dynamic, right? Like it's a system of power and privilege. And we really want to get down to it. And there's been a lot of overreach, and this is a conversation that I feel like we just like, it's like on repeat.
I do want to say and just point out how widespread the outrage is of this topic, because it is a woman of a particular skin color and not of another particular skin color.
I'm so annoyed with it.
I love how, because let's be clear, right? It's like, on the one hand, yes, absolutely, like we agree that it was handled wrongly. Like the whole thing just shouldn't have happened that way. But we do have to get into a conversation about privilege, right? And about systems, and how, okay, let's talk about how this was a white woman, right? And my thing was, when I saw the news, they're talking about how she got, like, I think she spent, she was in the car, right? In the police car, and then that day was released. And I was like, if that was a person of color, they would have been in the jail cell and released maybe a few days later.
I mean, Sandra Bland all over again.
Well, she didn't even make it out. Like, that's, and then let's talk about how the police officer was put on administrative leave the very next day. I feel like for people of color, it's like a fight for.
Well, and no, we're always wrong. That's the problem. If you're a colored person in America and you have a conflict with law enforcement, everybody's always on law enforcement side, but when it's a white woman, they're like, she's so innocent and so sweet, whatever. Just like the woman in Minnesota that was shot and killed. I went to read the comments on Yahoo, because they're always like, follow the police officer's orders and you won't die, or
Right.
But I noticed the difference between when it's a white victim and a white victim and a black victim, the comments are so different, and that makes me really disgusted in America. Like,
well, the fact that you've got like people who will simultaneously be like, Black Lives Matter is an evil group, they're terrorist organization, and then on the other hand, be like,
all lives matter.
And then on the other hand, they'll be like, this is an outrage. Salt Lake City Police Department should be ashamed of themselves. How dare they?
Yeah.
So just,
you guys by saying all lives matter and not acknowledging a real issue when a minority group had it, you guys let him behave this way, you know? Because you guys are, you know, you're not speaking about an issue when it doesn't affect you, so you're letting them feel comfortable and think this is okay.
And that's a place of privilege that you don't have to acknowledge that, right? So did you see
Bree?
It's a word. It's a word.
No, that was good. That was deep.
It's the truth. Like, you guys are allowing this to happen. So I don't really feel bad. It's like, you've been watching this happen, but only to minorities, and you stayed silent. Now it's affecting you guys, and now you want to say something. I don't feel bad. Like, sorry.
So what do you say then? What's your response to when people say, this is not a black and white issue? Stop making it about race and just, you know...
Well, obviously...
Just have the sympathy for... Because I think that there's a lot of people right now, right, who, with this certain case with this nurse, their mindset is like, let's just go in, let's support. I've seen a lot of support groups, you know, to go and to rally
well,
around...
yeah, obviously we need to support, but like, you, like... You are not going to care when so-and-so when DeAndre from down the street is shot and killed by a police officer. You're not going to care. And you're going to still be shouting all lives matter at us.
Yeah, we saw all the silence when it was Philando Castile or Sandra Bland. We saw them silent. So what? I'm not going to speak up now. They can handle it, you know? I feel like they weren't really fighting for our people when they were going through
And when
that.
you say they...
Our Caucasian siblings that don't care about us. What do you need to say?
Yeah,
I'm just clarifying. I'm just clarifying when we say they,
we mean
they.
Okay.
Okay, it's not always even Caucasian people. It's white people. It's some black people, Hispanics. People just don't speak up when there's injustice.
People who don't care.
People who don't speak up, who stay silent on the issues,
until it happens
but
to them.
who want to be outraged about one particular racial group, but then when it comes to like minorities, don't say anything or are on that train of all lives matter. Because trust me, when it happens to y'all, you're not gonna be saying all lives matter,
or you're not wanting anybody else to say that to you.
Exactly.
So that's the issue there.
Mocking the fact that like Kim Kardashian was kidnapped. You've got her releasing her album on the same day that Kanye's mother died. Like
do you think
that was low. That was low.
Do you guys think she meant to do that, or was it just a coincidence?
I think it's calculated because I think she's a smart enough businesswoman.
That is so mean.